Hey now, Chris. Have you procured a copy of Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection for the PS3 yet?
Yeah, man, it's awesome as hell. But David, what's with the codec? I didn't know you had one.
Yeah, about that. I borrowed it.
Borrow it?
Can't get into any details, but let me just say someone's gonna have a hard time contacting HQ for the time being.
Okay. Well then, are you ready for the next episode?
Oh yeah, let's do this. Alright guys, this is David from Calling All Gamers. This first part I re-recorded because I heard back to the original audio and it was kind of like all over the place. So I decided to clean things up a little bit. This first part's gonna be a review of the original Metal Gear on the PlayStation 3 via the Metal Gear Legacy Collection. This game is also available in Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence and the Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. So you have more than one way to actually play this game. Or if you want, you could probably just emulate it online. Whatever. Let me begin. Hideo Kojima was originally not the head of this project. A senior member at Konami was in charge of making an action game similar to Contra on MSX. Eventually he abandoned the project and Kojima took the helm. Hideo Kojima had to deal with certain limitations of the MSX2 hardware, such as a low clock speed and a limited color palette. So instead of making an all-out action game, he focused on something different altogether. Kojima was inspired by the 1964 film The Great Escape, which I must recommend everyone must see. I saw this movie back in the day. It was awesome. And he tried to make a game similar to that. I wonder if that would flow right. It doesn't matter. What he created is a game where stealth is a key element in order to progress. In order to progress through this game, you must observe enemy movements and proceed through the screen, all while being unseen. Keycards, like all other Metal Gear games, are required to proceed through certain sections of the game. These are scattered around the level and usually located in rooms throughout the game. At certain points, however, you will be required to use one of the many items available in order to progress through. Items such as the gas mask, mine detector, and parachute are few of the many key items necessary to pass certain screens in the game. Locating and using keycards and items is an integral part of this experience. However, there is some backtracking involved, which could kind of get frustrating. Now, the main theme of this game is stealth. If you're seen, it won't take long for the enemy to call in reinforcements and stop you. However, you have at your disposal a variety of weapons to combat the enemy, such as the handgun, submachine gun, grenade launcher, remote-controlled missile, and your trusty fists. Also, these will be required to fight the many bosses that appear in the game. Each boss can only be damaged by a particular type of weapon, such as the Hind D, which can only be destroyed by using the grenade launcher. However, most bosses can easily be defeated by the RC missile. Control-wise, they are pretty stiff. Snake feels like he's moving at a snail's pace at times, and when you're caught, it can be pretty difficult trying to accurately hit the enemy on screen since they're moving around a lot. Selecting items and weaponry is exactly like current Metal Gear games. L2 is to select your items and R2 for your weapons. Square and X are your attack buttons, with square firing your selected weapon. Graphically, I can't really decide if it's good or not. It's visually more appealing than the NES version, however, most screens lack a variety of color. I can't really knock points off for it since it was originally made on an 8-bit computer. The actual soldiers themselves and Snake are made of 4 colors at most. The screens themselves have around 16 colors. It's hard for me to judge the game on a graphical standpoint, but nonetheless, I could tell what's actually going on, and the bosses look pretty unique and really adds character to the overall feel of the game. There are 4 different music tracks throughout the game. Sound-wise, well, it sounds like an 8-bit game. What can I say? It's littered with pings, whooshes, and beeps. It's classic 8-bit sounds at its finest. Now, I can't really judge the overall sound of the game since it's an old title and doing so would be unfair. However, the music does add atmosphere and amplify what's actually happening on screen. This game overall will take about 2 to 3 hours to beat. The enemy behavior is actually pretty stupid, making some areas pretty easy. If there's any downsides to this game, it's the amount of backtracking involved. Another gripe I have is having to consistently change between key cards when coming across a new door. It totally interrupts the flow of the game, but nonetheless, it's a very solid game with awesome gameplay and badass battles. Metal Gear makes the player think before they shoot, which was revolutionary back in the day. Anyone interested playing this game won't be disappointed. Like I said before, Metal Gear is available on Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence. I really don't know how to say that. Gotta excuse me. Metal Gear Solid HD Collection and the Metal Gear Legacy Collection, which is only available on the PS3. Thank you guys, and I'm gonna pass it off to Chris because I've been talking for far too long and my voice is starting to hurt.
Hello everybody, this is Chris. Konnichiwa. So, David's on the topic of Metal Gear, the MSX version. But I'm gonna go everywhere with Metal Gear, maybe just discuss about like everything as a whole one piece. But for me, I just want to talk about 5, and then I'll jump into other parts of Metal Gear. But 5. So from the last thing I read about from I think it was online about Kojima, that he was quite depressed about his vision, or not his vision, more of his what he brought out onto the trailer, because he saw Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer, and he saw, wow, this game looks way better than mine. It's more of a sandbox game. The engine looks better. But you know what? They're 2 completely different games. And the other thing I heard is that the Metal Gear 5 wasn't even running on next gen. It was current gen, and from what I saw, it looked next gen to me. It looks amazing. Grand Theft Auto and Metal Gear are 2 completely different games. He shouldn't be depressed about it. In my opinion, I'm more of a Metal Gear guy. I think Metal Gear is better than Grand Theft Auto. That's just my opinion. But everybody's gonna be like, Grand Theft Auto is better. But I'm not a big Grand Theft Auto game. That game's gonna be amazing. To me, it's my most highly anticipated game coming out pretty soon. But right now, it's kind of too early to know what's going on in the game. There's a lot of speculations about the game. Some people are saying that that's not really Old Snake, Big Boss. Some people were saying that it's actually Gray Fox. There's a lot of theories going on that it's Gray Fox. They're like dissecting the video. It's either Gray Fox, and then it's instead of being Kaz Miller, it's really, they're saying it's Roy Campbell. So there's different things going on about that right now. I don't think it's either that. I think that's still Kaz. I think it's still Snake. You know, David, do you have anything to say about like all that? Like, how can that even be Gray Fox? I mean, obviously it looks a lot like, of course, Solid Snake.
Yeah, didn't they already state that it is like Big Boss? Yeah, they already stated that they put a year. The only major difference I see is that he's being voiced by Jack Bauer, Kiefer Sutherland. In regards to him being depressed over the Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer, I know the Phantom Pain is supposed to be kind of a sandbox game. Maybe he's comparing it like that, but to be fair, the the expectations for both games are totally different. I don't think Kojima should be disappointed in his game. But my brother did say, as an artist will never be satisfied with his work. And as much as people give him praise, there's always a piece of Kojima that feels like he could have done better. And and the same pattern kind of repeats for him when he releases games in general. Uh, ever since the Metal Gear Solid 1 on a PS1.
I think little by little he's starting to recognize Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation as his masterpiece game. But at the time, like, it took him a long time to realize that it's probably, that game is perfect. To me, that is my favorite game. I go back to this keeps popping back and forth. It's in between for me, Metal Gear and Resident Evil 2. They're two different games, but they share a big part of my heart. But I think, yeah, Metal Gear Solid is like perfect. Well done story, gameplay. Well, the graphics were ahead of that time, though. But everything about that game is just amazing. Like, I haven't seen anything in a game like that before. That's like, honestly, if it wasn't for Metal Gear, like, there would be no other kind of stealth games like what Siphon Filter is kind of stealthy, and Splinter Cell. There's this discussion like who's better, Sam Fisher or Snake. Snake all the way, man. Snake would beat the crap out of Sam Fisher. I don't care, you Splinter Cell fanboys, whatever. I don't care. No Snake, no Sam Fisher. That's the way I see it. But so I'm gonna go in and talking about that, hearing about that. Hideo wants to remake Metal Gear Solid with the Fox engine, and then I was reading a little bit more about it. He said he doesn't want to make it, but he wouldn't mind seeing it being remade. He said that he would love to give it to a different studio to remake it. The studio that I would love to see it is Platinum Games, and the last game that they made was the latest game right now that they made is Metal Gear Revengeance. Yeah, Metal Gear Revengeance or Raiden. I think that game's fun. Not a lot of people liked it because it's not like your traditional Metal Gear Solid game. It's not your stealthy, and not only that, it doesn't have Snake. It doesn't even mention Snake in any way. It does take place right after Metal Gear Solid 4. But let alone, it's still a Metal Gear game, and I still enjoy it and appreciate it. It was fun. It was hack and slash, but he wasn't overpowered where you can just kill anybody. No. Raiden knew his limits and whatnot. He had a whole parry system, which is cool. But I would love for Platinum Games to remake that game. They can make it look really good. They can use the Fox engine. They have that. All they had to do is just remake it in every way. Get David Hayter to come back, because it has to have David Hayter. It has to have the original cast.
Just out of curiosity, what if they can't get him back and they go with Kiefer Sutherland again? Would you still get it?
Yeah, I'll still get it.
That's cool. Regarding that mistranslation that he was gonna do it and instead he would rather have someone else do it. I could really see that happen in the near future. There's a whole new generation of gamers that didn't grow up in the 90s and would probably appreciate a whole new Metal Gear Solid game. But what I would really like to see is a remake of the original 2 Metal Gears that were on MSX. When I played Metal Gear Solid for the first time on the PS1, so many years ago, I feel old. Actually it was 98.
Middle school.
Yeah, I felt like there was more to this, and of course I went and saw the special features thing, little special features menu, and saw that all this stuff happened before Metal Gear Solid, and I felt like it could really flesh out the whole universe a little bit more. I understand they try to do that with Metal Gear Solid 3 with Naked Snake, who would eventually become Big Boss. But just playing a remake of the original two Metal Gears, like an updated 3D graphics with voice acting and all that, I believe could do the series justice, in my belief.
Yeah, I think that they should just package it into 1 and 2 together on one disc, because if it comes out, it might be most likely for next gen. Why not? Because it'll be on a Blu-ray disc, because Xbox One's gonna have a Blu-ray player now. So it could be, those two games could be on one disc, packed with like interviews, like interviews, the making of it. Not only that, like what David was saying is that since not a lot of games, not a lot of people, especially like kids now, got to really experience the original Metal Gear back in the day when it came out. This like bring a newer audience, like the younger generation, to appreciate this game for what it is. It's more of the older crowd that loves this game. I'll tell you one thing. When Metal Gear Rising came out, my friend and I, we went to this midnight. It was at the GameStop in Universal City Walk. So the GameStop had a midnight release for Metal Gear Rising, and they were gonna have an after party and everything. But the main reason I went is just because it's Metal Gear, and I told my friend, he's like, yeah, let's do it. It's Metal Gear, and we knew that Kojima wasn't there because he wasn't part of the game, but he was at a different midnight. Not of course not here. Excuse me, here in America. He was in I think England. He did one in England where it was him and the original artist designer for Metal Gear, and they did a midnight, and they did signatures. But we did get the director and the producer for Metal Gear Rising. He was there. I got stuff signed by him. He actually helped out on Metal Gear Solid 4, so I got my Metal Gear Solid 4 signed. So, but I guess the main thing I'm trying to say about that is that when I went there, nothing but older crowd, my age, older than me, that grew up with this game. Let it be on the freaking PlayStation, was Metal Gear Solid, or on the Nintendo. But not only that, they were older crowd there. There was kids too, but they were with their dads, so they influenced them to love it. And they were wearing Metal Gear T-shirts and whatnot. So, I mean, those kids are gonna be Metal Gear fans as they get older. So why not why not do that? Pass it down to the next generation. Remake Metal Gear 1 and 2 on the next gen Fox engine. Put it on one disc. People will buy it. Bring a collector's edition if you want to make more money. Konami, bring out a collector's edition. But so yeah, and also Metal Gear 5. I mean, right now it's a little early. I think Gamescom's coming up pretty soon, and they're gonna announce way more stuff. I bet on Gamescom, either I'm guessing Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show, they might announce the official release date for that game. I know it's coming out next year, but I don't know, what time next year. Is it coming out like around like November next year, or is it coming out early next year or mid next year? But I'm pretty sure on one of those conventions like Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show, I'm pretty sure they're gonna like talk about way more in depth of the game, and they're probably gonna show another trailer, the box art, and official release date, and yada yada, and what else. But I'm excited. Gamescom's in August, I think August 14, around that time. So I mean, we're gonna pretty much check it out. We're gonna talk about that on the next one when that comes out. We'll talk about on the podcast, whatever. But Metal Gear, what else are they talking about for Metal Gear? The last thing maybe is the lyrics that I heard about from Donna Brooke. What maybe the lyrics meant. I guess this game is based on revenge too, with Snake getting abandoned by the country he loved. So that's why I think Kaz and Snake are just creating this army to get Outer Heaven, to get back at the country that betrayed them. That's why they're passionate about their soldiers. From what I read, that's pretty much what I know right now. And then maybe I think Quiet is one of the characters in the game. She's the main heroine. I think she's gonna be maybe in your way, kind of like a villain, but yet she's gonna help you out, kind of like with in Metal Gear Solid 3, Eva. It's gonna be like that. So that's all I know for Metal Gear Solid 5. I wish I could know a lot more. I wish I can get more info, but it's pretty much the same stuff over and over. I guess we just gotta wait until the next convention to what do we hear about. But yeah, and other than that, from Metal Gear the remake, there's no confirmation on it yet. He says that he would love it to be done and someone else can do it. It's someone else has to take it away from his table and then actually do the game. But any other kind of information for Metal Gear, David, that you would like to add towards this?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, that's pretty much it. I would say there's gonna be a little video coming up pretty soon about we're gonna talk about the Metal Gear Legacy Collection that I'm really excited about. It already came out, but we're just gonna talk about it a little bit more, and then maybe on the next podcast it could be either a little bit more Metal Gear again, mixed in with some other stuff, and then we're gonna keep going with other stuff. There'll probably be a Killer Instinct one pretty soon, and then we're gonna have one devoted, our own a vlog devoted to comics only. And that's pretty much it. And this is Chris signing out. Sayonara.
And this is David. Take care, you guys.